you to look around, inventions are around us.
All around us.
Right. For example, look, can you look at your desk?
Yeah, look at your desk.
For example, do you see the sticky bookmarks and notes? These are one of the great inventions.
Yeah. Okay.
These are very simple.
They look very simple.
But you will see. You will surprise.
If you say you will surprise,
Yep.
that doesn't make sense. You will be surprised.
You will be surprised.
Yeah. Surprised to know that?
To know that it took 12 years to
bring this invention
to the world.
Okay.
Right.
Good. And
here is the behind the story.
Yeah, here's the behind story. Okay, good job.
Of these inventions. Dr. Spencer Silver was a scientist in United States, America.
United States, America, same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
In 1968, he tried to invent a strong glue, but he failed.
He failed.
The glue which he invented has no stick.
No, was not sticky.
Was not
sticky.
It never dried.
It would never dry.
It was very weak. It would stop into the object.
No, it stuck to objects.
Objects, but it could take off.
It could be easily taken off.
It could
be easily taken off.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Dr. Silver believed that the glue will be useful.
Yeah.
He tried to think.
Here. Come up with. Okay. Come up with. He tried to come up with a good use for it. Okay.
A good use for it.
He tried to come up with a good use for it. Then?
Word. He talked about his glue to other people and asked them for help. One of them was Dr. Arthur Fry. Dr. Fry was a scientist. Worked with
Who walked with
Dr. Silver. In 1974, one day, he was.
You forgot to say this. He tried to think of. A good use for the glue. He tried to think of. Okay. A good use for the glue. Okay.
For the glue. But
for several years. He tried to think of a good use for the glue for several years. Sometime he tried to think of a good use for the glue for several years.
A good use for the glue for several years.
But he couldn't. Then one day in 1974
he sang.
He was singing with
the church songbook.
The songbook in church.
He used a tiny piece of paper, but it took away.
He used little pieces of paper, okay, as bookmarks. Right? As bookmarks. But they kept falling out.
Right.
They kept falling out. Say one more time.
He used the
little pieces of papers as bookmark,
but they kept falling
out. Okay.
Suddenly, he thought of Dr. Silver's glue. Next day, Dr. Fly took Dr. Silver's glue and added it a little. Applied some glue
to the back of
the glue.
Back of a piece of paper. Okay, some time.
He thought applied some to the back of a piece of paper.
Some to the back of a piece of paper. Okay. Then
he made the first.
He created bookmarks.
이거보다 11시기에 더 잘 돼. Then he thought they were very useful.
Okay.
So he wanted to know if the people buy them. So he gave them to the people of companies.
He gave them to other workers at the company. He gave them, to the other workers. Other workers, at the company. Then what? They liked sticky. Bookmarks very much. Keep going.
They liked the sticky bookmarks, but the problem was they could use them.
They could use bookmarks over and over again.
So Dr. Fry thought that new sticky bookmarks will not sold.
The new bookmarks.
He needed to think the other use of bookmarks. To think
of another use of. Use for the bookmarks. One day
Dr. Fry write down on the tiny little
some questions
on the little memoirs
on a small
notes
note and
applied some glue
some glue on it.
on it.
Okay.
And he
He then stuck the note
the notes
on report
on report.
and gave it to another scientist.
Right.
Okay. Later, the scientist handed the report back with his answers. Okay? Say what? All of a sudden, he realized that
it could be stopped. He could
stick these
stick this
notes
to
on anything. Okay?
Yep.
On a book, on a desk,
and
on a wall. Wow, that was a great invention.
Right.
So, even not very sticky, so weak, but he thought of another use for the bookmark. Wow, these great inventions.
He thought the another use of Dr. Stolberg's invention.
Yeah, just come up with.
He just come
Come up with another use. Okay. Another use for doctor's inventions. Okay.
From then, Dr. Fry and Dr. Silber tried to make the sticky notes to sell, but they met the other problem, big problem. The people don't need this music. So Dr. Fry and Dr. Silber,
they faced another problem, big problem.
So Dr. Fry and Dr. Silber, on 1978, Dr. Fry and Dr. Silber 무료로 나눠주더라
For free.
맞다.
Gave out.
He gave out the sticky note to many people for free. After 1 year, people realized that the sticky note is very useful. Finally, in 1980, January, February, March, April 6th, the sticky notes began to be sold
in stores.
43번부터 뭐였어?
그러니까 뭐죠? 뭐 할 때까지? 뭐야?
12년간
12년간 뭐야?
노력 끝에 태어생겼다.
그러니까 brought to life after 12 years. 그러니까 원래 뭐니 bring이 그지? 저잖아. 가져오다 그지? 그럼 뭐니 이게 가져오게 된 거니까 brought to life. 일단 써봐. Even the simple sticky note. Even the simple sticky note. Notes were brought B-R-O-U-G-H-T brought to life after 12 years of hard work by Dr. Fry and Silver.
So, RY Dr. Fry하고 뭐요?
and Silver. 사람 이름이니까.
예. 네.
그다음 뭐지?
They never give up to find the perfect use
until that they never give up until they found a perfect use for the product. They found a perfect use. 왜냐면 어가 들어가기 전에는 쓸모있는 게 뭔지 모르니까 그 당시에는. 근데 제품 나왔으니까 for the product. 앞에는 a perfect use. 뒤에는 for the product.
When they said they failed, they access to
they thought outside the box. They thought outside the box.
That brought all the
made all the differences.
They made
That made all the differences. So tell me about the story here. Anyhow, did you when was the first time that you used that, sticky note? I mean, post-it, okay? It was so bad in the Mongol,
Yeah, first grade of
elementary
school.
How did you use it?
Just use it by my toy.
You just start that kind of bookmark on the toy?
Yeah.
Why? Because you want to know, okay, you might forget how to use it, so you just put it,
Right.
on a toy, okay, to make sure that you can use, next time. Who told you to use it? Your mom or your friend or the other guy?
I just taught me by myself.
You are self-taught.
Yeah.
Say, you are self-taught.
I'm self-taught.
I was self-taught.
I was self-taught.
So, why do you think this is great inventions?
Why?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because many people can use it very easily.
Very easily, okay. So they might forget, okay.
Right.
On a computer, they might just something may slip his mind, okay. When they use this post-it, okay. When they come up with some idea, then they can just scribble, okay. They take note and put it on the computer. Later on, they can just make sure that okay, they don't forget, okay, how to do this, right? Okay. So, do you have any idea for the invention? You have no idea about this. So after you read this story, then how do you feel?
Don't know. Stop.
So when people think that this is no use, but if they just look at that product from different perspective, they might come up with a perfect use for the product. They can come up with a perfect use for the product if they look at from different angle. Okay? Good job. 그럼 이제 11번.
외웠는데 이거 그냥 풀게요.
맞아. 이거 10까지 봐.
12번.
12가?
네.